Good morning, Dave Knight here at 123daytrade.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Today is Wednesday, October 17th, 2018. It's inventory day, and let's take a look at the hourly charts right now. And if we go and actually let's go top down, inventory coming on in about 20 minutes from now. People ask me, what's this report all about? It's I also have the FOMC meeting minutes today at 1, and we have at 9:30 a.m. coming out most important report, most manipulated report in the crude oil market coming out. So expecting a 1.6 million build. Last 2 weeks, we have actually last 3 weeks. I take that back. Last 3 weeks we have a build here of surplus. So it started 3 weeks ago, and you can see that we have a surplus of oil being built right now. And we see the price of oil recently started to come down a little bit. And you look at the daily chart reflecting this. We see the high, the current high right now is at 76.90. We can see the swing lows down here, down the S2 line. Looks like if we can break through that 70.56 area, underneath this S2, there's a lot of downward movement available coming down towards minimum, I would say, the 200 bar, around the 67 range. So I think 70 could possibly be tested today. On the short side, we can have another extension bar coming down through here. Or is it this as far as the market's going to allow the down to go, and they're going to start beating the drum to the other side right now? That's what we're getting ready to find out. Here in a few minutes. All right, so this is the dailies. Look at the hourly. So right around what, 72.22 area, 23, 24. So 72.24, and then the hour in front of that was 72.25. It's been going down from since roughly what, 3 o'clock Eastern time. Central time, heading down to where we are now, and you can see that this is like the third time down here. Look back here to the hourly charts we see back on October 11th, over here on October 12th, and now October 17th. Get under this S2 line, and that's why you're seeing a lot of fighting. And I'll show you the fighting that you're going to see here in just a second, because you'll see it being translated out in volume coming through. 15-minute chart. Long way from the 200 bar. By the way, we've run the golden ratio number already today, 70.88, which is in here. So it's already ran the golden ratio number, and it's closing in on the 190-degree angle if it wants to run it today. Oh, and by the way, if you look at the 12p run, plug the high in, 72.43. 12p runs it to 69.66 today. We have been as far as 7 down right now. Actually, have we been? No, 61 is the low. Not officially to 8. Now, once we run 8 usually means 10 is going to be. 8 opens the door to 10p. So 70.58 will open the door basically to $70 a barrel. And that's a 15-minute chart. You can see that way up there. And if we look one step down from here, 5-minute chart all the way up here to the pivot line. So 200 bar to the pivot line, that's going to take a lot of energy to get through that, to get up to the pivot, to get to the, will take a lot of energy to get up there. $71.70 underneath. And the hourlies, where is that at? Well, that's way above R1 right now on the hourly chart. All right, so let's pull this off and let's talk about volume that I've seen so far, just since the open. Minimize this a little bit more off screen. There, it looks better. Trying to push down and through. One of those days it almost pays to get in early, but hate doing that. Most likely going to break this low and then try to move up today. That's what it's definitely trying to do here. So let's look at the tick chart. You can see volume kicking in 2801. By the way, this is highest volume bar, I believe. Let's double check that. I looked at from 8 o'clock, yeah, from midnight. So we see an escalation right through here. Let's get the screen draw tool out. See an escalation in volume kicking in here. Volume is increasing as we're running down here. So this is telling me that this is buy stop running right now. I don't believe, but there'll be some that are accumulating here as well, trying to run it, looking at the buy the dip scenario and then run it back. This is a combination. So right now, I think what we're seeing on the reds is a combo of people bailing and people buying right now, trying to buy the dip. So right now they're obviously trying, a lot of people, because it's been successful. Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Buy the dip has been working since roughly October of last year, buying the dip, November of last year. So a lot of that, so there'll be a combination of people buying this dip and also people that are bailing. I would say that if we get underneath this 61 level and get down underneath S2, it'll be interesting to see how far we can fall. All right, so that's the morning chit chat. We are waiting on the inventory report now, which comes out in about 12 minutes. Be back in a few. All right, so I'm set up 7P as always. 7P today is 161. 19 ticks is a 1R run. 2/3 is 13. 1/2 is 10. So you'll see me adjusting between 19, 13, and 10 today if I can stay in this trade. We will see what happens here. So that's kind of what we're set up. Honestly, I don't know what we're going to do. I got a feeling we're heading down, but it's flip a coin right now. We've already been down, therefore the market could shoot back up too. So I see both scenarios right now. Now, I guess since I can do it, we're just waiting here. We got about 4 minutes in front of the report right now. Combine, you can actually get involved in it in front of the report. So what I'm thinking right now, what might happen is we get a movement up and then we come down. That kind of would make sense for me right now. Or we go down, break through these lows, and then we move up. I can see either one of them off the report. So let's be patient and wait for the number to come out and then see if we can do something about it. I mean, I'd like to get underneath this low and say, all right, I want to go at 70.59, but I think it's going to shoot down there and then shoot back up too. All right, be back in a minute. All right, we're a minute away now. Now, according to Top Step Trader rules, you can't move into the trade until a minute after the release. Now, that applies to both funded and FTP, but it doesn't apply to the Combine. So since it doesn't apply to the Combine, I want to be in front of this before it moves down. So if it shoots up, then we'll remove this. But if it shoots down, I want to see what you see what just happened there, huh? I got filled and it went straight down. So you can't do that normally. Well, yeah, that can't be done normally, but it can be done here. So 70.90, let's plug that in. 70.67 is a 1p target from there. Well, that's just the beautifulness of the Combine right there, taking advantage of what you can. 2p down is 70.44. It's a little too close right now, but $70.55 is a 3p down move. We got 500 on the table right now. And you could do this in the Combine, so take advantage of it when you can. Lock in a 2p target here. I think we're heading going for that 3p is 70.21. So let's go ahead and lock in 31.21. So we got our 3p target on the table here. There it is. There's 70.21 is 3p down. Let's go ahead and take the gift horse right now. Let's take this gifted horse that we got in front of us. 580. That's something that you can do in this. So here, let's throw this over here and show what I did. I have a gift horse right here, right? Plus 58. So 69, 59. That's the gift horse that you don't want to take. I mean, there's from 70.90 to 70.21 is a 3p down move. Now, I definitely believe we're going to run 70. but I wanted that. I wanted that win. I needed a win. It's 3p move. There's 70.10. Expecting a lot of support at the $70 a barrel range. Now, the question is, well, we don't worry about FTP and funded today. We got that's just one hell of a fill right there on simulated. That's all that is right there. So what you can't do that in funded, and you can't do that in the FTP, but you can do it in the combine. You can get away with what I just did in the combine. So it helps you be able to capture extra profits. So where did that come? Where did it knock me out? It knocked me out here, and then went to a high of 40 before heading down to S3. See a high blue or high red bar volume coming off the report. So you see a failure bar, 3,088, right? 3,000, it's a failure bar because it went under it. Coming in at 9:30 a.m. So we definitely would be protecting 3p on that move right there to 31. So I'd be protecting 21 to 31 right now. There it is, run 31. So there's the exit point right there on trading one. If I didn't get out previous, this would have been my exit point now. I want that 3p move. And that's based on here. I'd want that. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right? One of those lucky movements I caught. 67 is 1p move. It probably would have filled us somewhere in here in this first break, and we would have been able to capture a sit. So 70.64, if that would have been our entry point, we would be looking at 6,995. You can see this would have been where it would have filled us. 70.41 is 2. No, that's not right. 70.90. 70.44 is 2. 70.21 It's a low of 70.21, may or may not filled you there. It definitely would have filled 70.21 here. And then exit point right around here on the 3p move. Hey, take the wins you can get. Hopefully this will be the start of me getting that 32,000 knocked out. 70.64. If it would have been filled around there, it would have been 6.995, 6.997. So if we'd have been filled at the 1p area right around there, if we waited for a minute, what would we have had to wait for? Right in here. That would have been a tough trade to get involved in. You'd been looking at going short here and taking, maybe even taking a loss on a trade. So waiting 1 minute today would have not been beneficial. Let's figure that out. So 1 minute comes in right here, so entry point after a minute would have been 70.20. Let's run right in here. 36. Yeah, would have held on barely, but you would have held on. You've been up against a $70 a barrel though, as you can see, it fighting off. So it only has been down 20 ticks from 70.20. It would have been a tough trade to make after a minute. It would have been a very tough trade to stay in. Alright, so let's plug in the high of 72.43, and we've been down 10 pips. Remember I talked about 8 opens the door to 10p. We've done that. So there was 8 at 70.58 on the high, and we opened up the door to 10, so we've already been there. So as far as extreme volume goes right now, it's got about another 33 ticks available. Okay, there's 11 right there. 11p run. Now this doesn't mean this is as far as the market's going to go. What this is telling me is this is an extreme movement day right now. So we've been down 11p off the high right now. So we're in extreme movement. Once we cross that 10 barrier, this is where you get into the extremes. So 70.20, let's plug that in, and let's figure out if we would have run a 3p target on 70.20. We need 69.51. We've been down and through 6997, so we ran 1. So we're at 1p right there. 74 is 2. We have not run 74. And that also means we'd have to run through our 12p target of 66 to get to 51. Alright, let's see how this trade works out, because we're just sitting in the sidelines here. Now, the only way that I've held on to this trade would have been the second contract and using the blue line now. So the only way that I'd be holding on to this contract or holding on to this trade would be the tortoise side of the trade. And right now that's the low plus 10 ticks right from here. So without trying to figure out exactly, let's just call it 70.22 right now. Okay, we're within a few ticks of that 66 now. 69.66 is 12p down. Almost on top of what would be 2 is 74. So protecting a 1p move would probably be the smart thing to do at this point if you would have been in at 70.20. That's worth about somewhere between 23 to 25 ticks right now. As we're coming down to, you can see all this volume down here coming down to what is perceivably a stop down here. And when the market does make a decisive move, when it does make its bottom, let's just say it's here, you're going to see it shoot like this quickly and probably get one up here to at least minimum range. I would bet you 70-30 right now. If this is the bottom here, you're going to see a 50 to 60 tick move come the other way once it does hit bottom. All right, let's pause here and see what happens. Be back in a few. All right, so we're within 3 of 12p down move right now. That's 1 tick away from a 12p down move. $69.64, by the way, is a 270-degree angle. We're getting to ranges that are pretty incredible. What was Forex Factor? There it is. We've run the 12p move right there. Had the balls to take that on at 67, huh? So on the long side, I'm looking for the market basically come back down there underneath this highway and then come back up. I'm debating about risking 10 ticks here and closing out at 48. Maybe risking 2/3. So I'm looking at this and thinking, why is that the low other than I've plugged in a 12p move and know that that's very extreme movement. Going up for 70, we might find another time to short the market. So let's be patient. And I don't really like being on the long side. So we might find another opportunity to get short again. That'll take us down to 43 if we fail. What's that, 58? 45. Be plus 45 day, which would be a 2p win. All right, let's be patient here. Be back. All right, so what we have, There's a possible long signal above this level. I'm waiting for high blue bar volume though. So I don't really want to play on the long side. Especially this close to $70 a barrel. I mean, that's where it would tell me, with the way I look at things, where the market would have to get to. And I would have preferred to be way down here, close to this. Running 70, but that's expected. Alright, when I do see a short signal, I'll be back. Right now, nothing. Alright, let's look at our GAN signal we got on here. It's 1, 2, this is 3. So let's go ahead and put in a short right now at 86 for now. We'll use our GAN 4 times through to get involved in the short side now. And we'll follow behind this as we continue to make a move up. Give back 13 ticks if it goes against us. So a 12p down move was 66. Let's just mark that. All right, 89. The higher we move up, the better this trade becomes. So I'm okay with it wanting to go up, up, and up. I mean, this could possibly be the third. 1, 2, 3. Right, here's 1, 2, 3, 4 coming through. I mean, this line is kind of arbitrary. I use this line right here. I like to look at the second time through and then find the mid-range. So there's 1, 2, find mid-range, which is right here. Then that helps measure 3. It's air to 88 now. Whoops, we're in. Never mind. So what do we not want to see? I really don't want to see $70 a barrel now. I want to see us run the lows. All right, I don't want to take a loss. I think 70 is still in play here. 70 a barrel is still in play. So I didn't want to take a hit here. I'm going to pause. All right, so here, looking at the other side of the equation now. See, we're hanging around that 69.90. Really believe we got 70 in the barrel is in here. I would prefer to see a high blue bar volume to offset something. I was super cautious on the short side trade, just didn't think it had enough power. I would prefer to have been in this trade as a holding it. So the low right now is right there. Been 70.004. So currently that's your trailing. The tortoise part of the trade is right here, 70.004. Went as high as 70.003. Oh, I wanted to look at the report, right? What came out. I don't really pay attention to the number. 6.5 million. Another, oh, look at that. That's 4 weeks in a row, but 3 weeks in a row above 6, roughly. 6 or higher. So, surplus. 4 weeks in a row. You can see the build going on then. So this is right here is the tortoise side of the trade. If I would had 2 contracts in it, or a series of 2, taking one out at 3p and the other one. So I took my 3p target on my particular trade because I want 3p when it's available on one contract. Unless, obviously the way I would held onto that 3p trade, let's go back here and look. The way that I would held on to 3p, which would have been right in this area, would have been that even if I would have held it, it would have taken me out through here. Because once it reached down here 70 or close to it, I would be locking in some profits. So this would have knocked me out no matter what, coming up and through. That's okay though. Now if the other entry was 64, 60, let's call it 64, 70, 64, 67, and a 3p target is 6998, and I would have been happy taking that out too. So 6998, so it would have run a 3p target today. And then if you had to wait for 7020, 6951 was not run. But 2p was 74, so it looks like that would have been your exit right around here. Best case scenario would have been about a 2p move off of 7020, 7019. So you'd have caught this move on a 2p move. So basically the trade was worth about 46 to 69 depending upon how you would have played it. All right, there it goes. It ran. All trades are off the table now. Wouldn't have been a good 2 contract. Now, I would have only ran with 1 series of contracts since we blew through here really quick. So most likely I'd have been all out down here. Definitely be all out up here. So the short side trade is officially over. What we need now is high blue bar volume to get involved in it. So I'm going to pause until I see something that makes sense. We might see another GAN signal come in. We'll take a look at that a little bit later. For now, pausing. And in fact, let's make this the end of part 1.